It's the Politics Hour starring Tom Sherwood. He is our resident analyst. He's an NBC4 reporter and a columnist for the current newspapers. If you'd like to join the conversation, we're talking now with candidates for the at-large seat on the D.C. City Council. You can call us at 800-433-8850. That's 800-433-8850. What I'm going to do is introduce each candidate individually, ask him or her to make a 30-second opening statement indicating why voters in the District of Columbia should elect you to be the at-large member of the D.C. School Board for the vacant seat. And after that, we'll open it up to questions from Tom, yours truly, and for the D.C. Council, from Tom, yours truly, and people who call in, 800-433-8850, or you can go to our website, kojoshow.org, join the conversation there. Allow me to start with you, Alan Page, who represents the Statehood Green Party. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. The D.C. Statehood Green Party is my party, and that's one of the key reasons why I want to urge voters to consider me. The D.C. Statehood Green Party does not accept corporate contributions, and I think for a long time the problem in the city has been that the influence of corporate money on local politics. I will not have that around as an albatross around my neck, and I will represent the interests of the people. I feel that campaign contributions are what you can look at as far as who's signing the paychecks for a lot of our council members and for whom they work. My campaign contributions or my paychecks come from the people, and that's who I'm going to work for when I'm hopefully elected by the people. I'm number one on the ballot, and I'm the number one fighter for the people's issues.
That's candidate Alan Page. And of course, if you call 800-433-8850, regardless of what you want to talk about, if it has to do with the city, it's going to be the business of these at-large council candidates. So we'll just pass your questions on to them, whether it has to do with Mayor Gray, the city council chairman, or anything else. Next is candidate Dorothy Douglas. She's a Democratic candidate running for the at-large seat. Dorothy Douglas, thank you for joining us. Go ahead, please.
Oh, good afternoon. Good morning. My name is Dorothy Douglas. I'm the only woman on the ballot that's in the races running, and I'm a native Washingtonian. I'm here to have the best interests of the people for over 30 years. I've been serving as ANC commissioner for 12 years, and making sure that the service and the quality of life is being represented by our people of District of Columbia. I think they want results and action, and the problem is that we're not having that, and they want character and trust, and I pay wage for that, and I'm here to serve the people of the District of Columbia as I've always been, and first I want to give glory to God for allowing me to be here. This is a very important election, so I'm number 2 on the ballot and the only woman in the race. Thank you.
Dorothy Douglas, thank you. And joining us now in studio is Tom Brown. He is a Democratic candidate for the D.C. City Council running for the at-large seat. Tom Brown, thank you for joining us. And each candidate has 30 seconds to say why the voters of the District of Columbia should elect you to be the next at-large member of the D.C. City Council.
Well, Kojo and Tom, thank you so much for having me. WhyTomBrown.com will answer a number of questions that we may not get to about my background. However, I'm native Washingtonian. I've been focused on community development as well as youth development and workforce development as an active part of my life in serving this great city. I'm looking forward to a platform that allow me to impact more people in this great city with that kind of work.
And even though this is radio, it is my understanding that Tom Brown has a campaign T-shirt that he would like to don. So we're going to let you step back from the mic for a second while Tom Sherwood prepares his questions and have you don your campaign T-shirt. This is a crowded race. We spoke with 5 of the candidates last week. What makes you different from any of those candidates that we talked with last week, Alan Page?
Well, I'll be furthest to the left of the 9. Brian Weaver will be. Well, absolutely. That's why I'm furthest to the left. My political beliefs are at my core, so I wouldn't shift to the right in order to be more amenable to someone. I have to stand on my own principles.
You wouldn't be like President Obama in the
no triangulation here.
Well, he's not moved to the right; he's moved to the center. He says.
Well, unfortunately, moving to the center from where he was is moving rightward. Right. And there's certain things that I don't think he should have capitulated on that he has. That's a larger issue on a local level. A lot of times we have politicians who will go in and they'll be very progressive on the trail, and then the influence of their party politics will move them rightward. That's no commentary on the 2 great people from the Democratic Party here with me today, but unfortunately it's a general trend, and you have to look at history when you're looking towards the future.
Well, the Statehood Green Party is not as well known as the Democratic or Republican parties in the District of Columbia, but by the name, it suggests that you would be for statehood as opposed to voting rights in the District of Columbia. How do you feel about the demonstration that took place in which Mayor Gray and about 40 other people were arrested?
I feel very strongly about it. I was actually standing behind Miss Douglas at the time.
At the demonstration?
Yes, that at the time
Were
Mayor
you
Gray was
arrested?
arrested. I was not arrested.
Why not?
I stayed on the sidewalk. I've been to many demonstrations throughout my adult life. I've never been arrested. It's a constant struggle.
You're like Zelig. You're always there, but never actually being arrested.
There's a question about the efficiency of being arrested as a tactic. I mean, Dr. King was arrested multiple times. Obviously, that was very effective. But the question becomes, as Tom was talking about, there are people in the struggle, whether it's Charles Hamilton Houston or Thurgood Marshall, who are also participating in the struggle in a very valid way, in a very central way, that were never arrested.
So you're in favor of the demonstration?
Absolutely, 100% for statehood.
The Statehood Green Party, has not had a person win citywide race since Hilda Mason. Is that right?
Absolutely correct.
That large council member for a long time.
And before her?
Ooh, the school board member.
Julius Hobson.
Julius Hobson.
Oh, Julius.
Yes.
Oh,
There you go.
I wasn't going to jump in. I was going to see if you were going to pull it.
well, I couldn't. I actually. Well, never mind.
I'm testing
I'm not
his institutional
going to show my bona fides here. But this is and we'll go to all the candidates on this. But it's you're having a hard time. You don't have as much money as the other candidates.
Right.
You don't have the field organization. How is it? Where is the path to victory that a lot of people don't see? I don't even know how many Statehood Green Party members there are now registered to vote. How many are there?
Roughly 4,500.
If every one of them voted, most of the people I've been talking to said you got to have 7,000 to 10,000 people to win the election.
Absolutely.
How do you get, other than appearing on this show, how are you getting the word out where you can get those additional 6,000 votes you need?
I'm going door to door, whether it's in the Berry Farm dwellings or whether it's in the richest neighborhoods in the city, and just spreading the word about the D.C. Statehood Green Party. I believe you can't purchase the love of the people, and you can't work around the hard grassroots activity that you have to do in order to build up a party. And it's just we have a lot of work to do to get back to where we were when Hilda Mason was in office.
Now, Hilda Mason was with Charles Mason. She was fairly. They were well to do. Let me just say it. That's and right. So, but I mean, what type of work do you do? What you didn't really say. What do you do?
I'm an attorney. That's
why you didn't get arrested, incidentally, or you should have said that.
Well,
I mean,
there are attorneys who have been
creates a
arrested.
problem for you when you renew your license.
Yeah,
I know these things. All right, so you're an attorney. What type of law do you do?
I do both. Some education law, dealing with representing special needs students,
principal source of income?
Entertainment law. Yes.
Okay. Miss, can we go on with
Dorothy Douglas?
Dorothy Douglas, and you said you're a native Washingtonian. That covers a lot, but do you have outside work, or are you a home mother? I mean, tell me something. Give me a 25-second summary of who you are.
Well, I'm a grandparent, number one, and also I'm on the State Board of Education, and I've been a foster parent for over 6 years. And a couple of my students, people that I have, my foster students, are now graduate Boys State and on to professional boxing.
So you're on the front lines of some policy issues.
Yes, So I'm right there, and also been ANC commissioner for 12 years, and
that's worth something. That's got to be. You got to get some kind of gold star for that.
Yes, it is, and that's all volunteer work, and that's basically what I'm doing. And then president of Deanwood Association, been president of that. So that along and being the
You're
advocate.
also involved with the Marshall Heights Community Development
Right,
Organization.
right. And we were doing the literacy stamp out literacy program yesterday, and so I'm working with that with Marshall Heights and Community.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom.
I was just going to say, can I just hear a little more Tom Brown's here with. And he's got his Tom Brown t-shirt.
Vote Tom Brown at large DC.
And it's not Kwame Brown. It's not Marshall Brown. It's not Suleiman Brown.
It is Tom
It's just
Brown.
Tom Brown.
Just Tom Brown, ordinary guy.
Just an ordinary. Tell us something about. You do community work. You do education outreach for me. How do you get paid? And this is a capitalist society. How do you earn money? And how can you afford to run?
Well, since I'm the founder and executive director of my own 501c3, how do I get paid? It's sort of a trick question, Tom.
I mean, you don't get paid much, I know, but
To be honest with you, that's my full-time job. Been running that for almost 7 years. Focused here in the district. And I just left an activity where we were renewing a parking ward, a Oxen Run Park.
Do you get city money for your foundation, or have you gotten or
most
just
of our
donations?
funding, over 90% of our funding since we started has been private. Very little foundational public dollars. We've just had people that really believed in my work and see it firsthand and help me to continue it. If I can name a few great partners, we've had JBG Companies has been a great partner. Atlantic Services has been another great partner, and William C. Smith and a number of other people that just pull me into their communities, Horning Brothers and St. Tom.
Are you mostly east of the river?
Not really. I mean, I'm in Ward 6. I've done some work in Ward 5, 7, and 8 with the same kind of programming. And
how do you break through?
Go ahead.
Am I asking too many questions?
Yeah, but go ahead. That's what you do.
How do you, Mr. Brown, you see the other candidates with, Vincent Orange, very well established reputation and money, and you see the other candidates, Patrick Murray gets endorsed by the Washington Post as the Republican candidate. You can say what you will about that, but I mean, all these other candidates have a lot more visibility. How are you going to break through to get those 8, 10, 12,000 votes you need to win?
Well, I too have been doing a lot of retail politics and grassroots. I have a campaign office on Rhode Island Avenue, Northeast 932, and we're constantly bringing traffic through there.
WhyTomBrown.com.
WhyTomBrown.com is a website where you'll go on and you'll see first accounts of people who've worked with me and experienced some of my work in the past. And I just think that my work history accounts for something that separates me from some of the candidates. There's some great candidates here that have done some great things and others that aren't here. But I think that when people just check on me and ask around about me, they'll get pretty much the same answer. Hey, this guy leads, he brings results, and he makes change wherever you put him.